What's up guys, Ewan here and welcome to your latest Formula One news update video. So today in this video we're going to be talking about Andretti and Cadillac's bid for 2026 in Formula One, as well as drivers told not to use FIA platform for personal agenda. We're also going to be talking about how FIA president believes Aston Martin are on the way to becoming a GP winning team. First of all then, let's talk about Formula One and Andretti and Cadillac's bid for joining F1. So as we know, Cadillac and Andretti are partnering to come into Formula One in 2026. However, there's been some backlash regarding it, and so much so that the FIA president, Mohammed Ben Sulayem, I think that's how you pronounce it, says he is surprised by the adverse reaction to Andretti's proposed Formula One entry with Cadillac. And after years of lobbying the FIA, successful American team owner Michael Andretti got his biggest boost yet in his F1 bid last week with a partnership with General Motors for its luxury brand Cadillac, which is obviously the most American car brand you could possibly get. So, yeah, they hope to be on the grid by 2026 and would require sign-off from both F1 and its governing body, the FIA, which has so far welcomed the developments. I mean, who wouldn't want another team, and a works team at that, coming into your sport? However, Ben Sulayem's latest message of support for Andretti came on Sunday without specifying who or what he was referring to. He posted messages on Twitter hitting back at the reaction to their plan. And I quote, "It is surprising there has been some adverse reaction to the Cadillac-Andretti news," the FIA president wrote. The FIA has accepted the entries of smaller successful organisations in recent years. We should be encouraging prospective F1 entries from global manufacturers like General Motors and through thoroughbred races like Andretti Motorsport and others. Interest from teams in growth markets adds diversity and broadens F1's appeal. So I mean, we've seen it before, haven't we, when Honda and McLaren tried to partner and it absolutely failed. I think this could work. Andretti are they're like the Mercedes of IndyCar. I mean, they've done really well, dominated even. And I know Chip Ganassi Racing has also done well. But I'm not sure why there's this backlash. Why? Let me know in the comments below. Why is there this backlash? I'd love to know your opinion on this entry. For me, I think F1 is in the best place ever. Let's look at the facts, shall we? We've got Audi coming to supply engine, potentially Porsche. We've got a whole new team in Andretti partnering with Cadillac as an engine supplier. We've got loads of young drivers like Norris, Albon, Verstappen, all coming through. It's the best position F1 has probably ever been in. And you see now we've got races in potentially Africa, so every continent, as well as the Las Vegas race and the Miami race, and which makes 3 races in the US. And we've now got a US driver coming to Williams. So without all that said, F1 is so exciting. By 2026, it could possibly be one of the biggest sports in the world. So as we know, that Andretti did that awesome tweet saying they're coming to F1. However, F1 issued a statement saying that they were not the only interested party and would not be guaranteed a spot on the grid. So F1 obviously hitting back. They're obviously not that happy that Andretti have released this statement. They should have maybe coordinated with them a little bit as well. An F1 quote, "There is great interest in the F1 project at this time, with a number of conversations continuing that are not as visible as others," F1 said in a statement. And I continue, I'll do one more quote here from F1. They say, "We all want to ensure the championship remains credible and stable, and a new entrant request will be assessed on criteria to meet those objectives by the relevant stakeholders." Andretti responded to this quite abruptly by saying, "One of the big things was, what does Andretti bring to the party? Well, we're bringing one of the biggest manufacturers in the world with us, now with General Motors and Cadillac, and they've got a point." Why F1 being this stubborn? The fans want this team. I'm not sure why they'd oppose it. We got American owners. So I really couldn't really get that. I really don't get it. So sticking with the Andretti Cadillac theme, they want to bring Colton Herta, who is a young IndyCar driver. And if you've got Sky F1, they often put the IndyCar races on about 8 o'clock at night. Well, depending on what state they're in, but it's usually around the evening time. And I love watching it. I think it's absolutely amazing racing. And Colton Herta and Alex Palou, for me, stand out as the two best drivers. But it seems that Andretti want to bring one of its own, a US driver. So, Andretti intend to bring at least one US racer to F1 should their All-American entry be granted, and could enter the team around the unluckiest driver on the 2023 market, Colton Herta, after he was not granted an FIA super license, which FIA are trying to change the rules. I know Zach Brown wants to bring Alex Palou in, and other drivers potentially. So Herta 22 was set to join F1 this season before missing out on the AlphaTauri seat for a lack of super license point despite his success in IndyCar. However, he is signed through to 2027 with Andretti. He is the logical top pick. Now they will go for Andretti on one term. The FIA shortened their kind of requirements to be an F1 driver. Now we know that it's a lot different because with IndyCars it's just normally aspirated engines, whereas F1 is hybrid as well as other things. So who would you partner in Andretti? Would you go for Colton Herta and Alex Palou, or would you go for two established F1 drivers like Daniel Ricciardo or even Mick Schumacher maybe, who knows? So Mohammed Ben Salim has also issued a statement telling the Formula 1 drivers must not use the platform provided by the FIA to make statements for their own personal agenda, the sports governing body president Mohammed Ben Salim said on Tuesday. Formula 1 drivers will need prior written permission from the sports governing body to make political, religious and personal statements from next season following an update of the International Sporting Code. So that basically means that they don't want Vettel doing his t-shirts and stuff, which is obviously supporting a good cause, but they seem to think that it's too political, which I think is a bit ridiculous because, they should be using their voice to bring about equality. And what's this going to do? Just no one's going to say anything. It just seems really, really, really ridiculous to me. I have absolutely no problem with drivers having statements. So it's a free world, and it should be a free sport to do what they want at the end of the day. It's not up to the FIA to tell them what they can and can't do. I don't really get why they do that. And sticking with Mohammed Ben Salim, he has also backed Aston Martin to become one of Formula 1's race winners, saying they should be able to do it in time. Now, we know that when Fernando Alonso joins new teams, it doesn't always go to plan. He joined McLaren, that failed. He joined back to Renault, that failed. He joined Ferrari and they should have won the championship, but that failed. He joined McLaren Honda and we know exactly what happened there. He stuck around for the Renault era, that failed. And then he went back to, he took a year out and then went back to Renault, but Alpine, and that failed. So is this going to work? Could it be? 6th time lucky for Fernando this time. 6th time lucky. So, under owner Lawrence Stroll, Aston Martin are investing heavily in the Formula One's team's future with a new 200 million game-changing F1 factory, as well as a new wind tunnel. Now, we know that's why Fernando Alonso joined, because he'd been told about this investment in wind tunnel. However, the team has predicted it won't be until 2025 that the effects of the infrastructure upgrades are felt on track, as the wind tunnel will only be operational midway through the 24 season. Now, we know that Alonso's signed a 3-year contract, so that will keep him there till 2026. So and this is speaking kind of really in the future, could they be predicting 2026 is the championship winning car? Mind you, how old will Fernando Alonso be then? Like 45? I don't even know how old he will be. But yeah, interesting to see. I can't wait to see. Let me know, do you think Aston Martin will be a winning team? I don't think they will be. I think because they're a supplier, they're team that's being supplied by Mercedes, they're not going to give them a better engine. So I just don't think that. It's all just talk again, you know, get the sponsors on board. We're going to win the championship, but give us time. We've not heard that before, have we? But yeah, that will do it for today's news. I know it's brief, but as you know, there's not much to cover because we're not even in the season yet. We're still, 2 months away? Over 2 months till the season starts. But let me know in the comments below who's going to win the championship this season, who's going to win the constructors and the drivers. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.